Time for another story. The castle that changed. I was 5 or 6 years old when reality seemed to bend at our kindergarten playground. It's a story that still puzzles me to this day. One that makes me question the nature of our world and the boundaries between possible and impossible. The playground had several wooden structures where we would play. But the centerpiece was a magnificent two-story castle. So it was a round wooden fortress with stairs leading to an upper level where a small tower room stood in the middle. Around this tower was a circular platform where would we run and play, our imaginations turning the simple structure into a magical reel. So it was something like this. Something kinda. Not really, but I have this image from Google Maps. I am not 100% sure if this is the same castle from that time. This is a Google Maps view, very old, 2011. Very old. So, but it's still, but it really looks like it is the same one. Even if it is not the same one, it looked like this. I don't know if you can see here. Well, just the idea. Yes, this is actual place. This is a kindergarten. Here we had this like park forest thing, and with these wooden houses built in there. Okay, so the story. On this particular day, I was playing with my friend, someone I knew well, not just from kindergarten, but also as a neighbor. Our families lived in the same building, and we often played together outside school. Why school? No, also school, yes. We were alone on the castle's upper level, running circles around the central tower, lost in our games and laughter. Then something impossible happened. We stopped running and realized that the stairs had moved. Not just slightly, but to the completely opposite side of the castle. We stood there, two young children suddenly faced with something that couldn't happen in our ordinary world. My friend, curious and perhaps braver than I, suggested stepping down these relocated stairs. I remember clearly advising against it, but she still stepped down, but I didn't, because, well, who knows what might happen. So what I did, and I said to her, okay, well, she was already downstairs, so she was waving at me, well, look, I'm fine, but I was still like, no, this is weird. And I said that I will just run again around few circles, and maybe it will be back to normal. And yes, and this, I really don't know, did she saw how it happened? Now I am thinking, maybe she didn't saw it. Maybe it was just me who saw it, but she just was like playing this game. You know, sometimes children do. Maybe she thought this is a game, and yes, I only realized that now. That despite that I always thought that I am not the only one who saw it, because I have another person with me who said she also saw it, but I cannot be 100% that it was not just a game for her, but for me it was real. So okay, it all went back to normal, and What followed was something that might surprise those who think young children can't think critically. We didn't just accept this impossible event, we tried to solve it. We examined the castle structure, checking the central pole on the ground floor to see if the whole top level could somehow rotate. We looked for signs in the grass that might indicate movement. We considered whether an adult might have somehow moved it while we played, though we couldn't understand why they would, or how they could have done it without us noticing. Some might dismiss this as childhood imagination or fabricated memory, but I wasn't alone in this experience. My friends saw it too, discussed it with me, tried to understand it with me. At that age, I knew the difference between reality and make-believe. This was real. To this day, when I think about parallel universes or shifts reality, my mind returns to that wooden castle and its possible stairs. In that moment, perhaps, the veil between worlds grew thin and two young children glimpsed something beyond our ordinary understanding of reality. And yes, there are some signs which I kind of see sometimes that something is wrong with this world, with this reality, but this one was only really obvious one. Well, okay, also that ghost story was really weird. But actually, it feels like I don't have a lot of these type of stories, but more than one anyway. Yeah, this is crazy. But yes, if in some cases, I cannot remember at this moment exact examples. But in some cases, you might think, no, this is probably really just imagination, or maybe the way I interpret it, or maybe I don't understand it, or maybe I think too much about it, like it is something extraordinary, but actually it is not. But these two things with the ghost and this castle, this is something really. Okay, if I was crazy with some kind of serious mental issues, I think I would have more than these two stories. I would see more ghosts and I would see more stairs moving, I think, but because also what is could be a little bit. Yeah, because I was so young, and yes, at this young age, children, they play games and stuff, but I knew when I made up something for fun, and when I really saw something, what is the point? We even didn't really probably told anyone what happened. It was. Because who would believe, actually, also? Who would even care? So, yeah, for me, it was real. And probably there are a lot of people who also saw something weird which they cannot explain. So for me these are two things which I cannot really explain. But also, since that ghost thing, I probably didn't saw anything or heard anything really. Well, actually I do have one quite recent story, but well, that may be another time. I'm not really ready to talk about that right now. Okay, thanks for watching, goodbye.
Reality. It's a failure. But memory forever saved.